Hey there, good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Connie. I'm Connie Fuchsa with Foot Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. How's everybody doing today? I think in most, at least on the East Coast, we are finally starting to get some spring weather, and it is just phenomenal. So shaking off some of that rain and actually coming out of our cocoons, I think. So hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I'm sorry I'm coming to you a little bit later this morning than normal. Sometimes I have to take care of some stuff before I can get on and help you guys. So I really appreciate you taking the time to tune in. And this morning I wanted to talk about something that comes up a lot. If you're selling a piece of property and the property that you're selling, when you originally purchased it or somewhere during your ownership, all of the people that took ownership of that property can't be at the closing when you sell that property, what do you do? Now let's talk about, there's a couple of different pieces to that. Maybe someone that was one of the owners has passed away. In that particular instance, obviously that person cannot be at the closing, but we need to be able to document what happened to that person. And to be able to do that, we actually have to get a copy of that official death certificate. So you need to bring a death certificate into the closing or send it to who's doing your closing before the closing so that they can document that information. Because on that ownership deed, selling it to the new owner, there's going to be a reference about that person no longer being with us, when they passed away, and some of that information, because it has to be documented through that chain of ownership. So anything that has happened to someone that is one of the owners that they can't attend that closing, it needs to be documented why they can't be there so that the next person that looks up that ownership information, they can tell why that person wasn't signing off on that document. Because when you look at the deed, which is the document that transfers the ownership, that deed is going to list all of the owners on the property, and then they're all going to sign that deed transferring their ownership interest to the new buyer. And if they can't attend for whatever reason, there has to be some documentation about why they're not signing that document. The other situation may be that maybe it's a couple who purchased the property and then they got divorced and one of the owners can't be there. Maybe they're in another area. So we would do one of two things in that instance. We could either help them by preparing a power of attorney to give someone else the right to sign that document on that person's behalf, or we could send the documents to that person that couldn't be at closing. Depending on where they are, they'd have to have it signed and notarized in that particular area, then send it back so we can get it all, the rest of it signed at the closing. So those are some typical reasons why someone might not be at closing and how we could handle that. And it's not a huge problem. It's just we have to document on that deed why that person isn't physically signing that document and what was done to take care of that, so that the next time that someone searches that ownership, they can tell, oh, okay, we don't have a person missing that may have an ownership still in that property, because as I tell you guys all the time, we're protecting home ownership. So we're guaranteeing the buyer that all of the people that own that property are actually selling that and transferring it to them. And if for one of those people can't attend and be part of that, we need to document why, because we're guaranteeing that home ownership. So maybe I answered a question for you. Maybe I spurred a question. I always love doing that. Hey there, Phil. Good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you all for tuning in. If you have questions, please reach out to me. You can do it individually. You can do it through this broadcast. You can reach out through email. You can reach out to any of our team in Maryland and Virginia. They are all very well versed in both of those areas, and we'd love to help you with any information you need on that. You can also go to our website, www.foottitlegroup.com, where there is lots of information about this and other topics. Under each individual tab, there's a resources tab. Go to that and you can download all kinds of information. The other thing we're doing is, we have the Coffee with Connie giveaway. And if you hit that share button, not only can you be eligible to win a 20-ounce coffee mug that we have, that I don't have with me right at the moment, I'm sorry, but it also helps the people that sharing information with them, and I don't know those people, and I would love to have them in on our broadcast, but initially, if you would share with them, then they're going to get this great, good information as well. So if you'd hit that share button, I would really appreciate it, and to thank you for that, I'm putting you in the drawing for the coffee mug. We're doing that once a month, so the more times you share, the more chances you have to win. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thanks so much for tuning in to Coffee with Connie, and I'll talk to you soon. I'm Connie Fuchsa with Foot Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye-bye.